What is up, everybody? Wonder Bro here. Let's talk about real life stressors. Everybody has them, and most of the time people blame them for not doing well in their recovery. Now, I want to say right off the bat, I'm not saying if you're in a situation like an abusive situation where your life really is in danger, where you're really in danger to some sort of harm, I'm not saying it's not okay to make plans, to take action, to get out of that situation. Right off the bat, I want to make that known. However, if you think that you're going to run into a perfect stress-free life and that you can't reach recovery until you do run into that perfect stress-free life, that's where you're going wrong. Everybody has life stressors, okay? So I want you to understand that when it comes to dealing with real life stressors, it is the same solution, the same tactic that we use with anxiety. Now, with anxiety, when you have certain thoughts, when you have feelings and symptoms that are uncomfortable or intense, you notice them, you don't get involved with them, you don't go down the rabbit hole, you say, hey, I see you, thanks for the suggestion, mind, I'm not taking the bait, thanks but no thanks, I accept the thoughts, I accept the feelings, but I'm not going to open my mouth and get into the mental blah, 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 the second fear thinking that you just do constantly, right? You have to shut that down. When it comes to anxiety, that is always the goal, to shut down that second fear thinking and live your life. Life stressors, same situation. The only difference may be that there might be some action you can take. Right now, let's say there's a sick loved one that you have. There might be a real action of, hey, do you need me to take you to the doctor? Do you need anything? You want me to come over and help you out? That might be some real action that you can take with that life stressor. But at the end of the day, the same formula applies. When you get negative, intrusive thoughts that say things like, oh, do they have this? Or are they going to come down with this? Or what if it gets worse? Or when you have these sort of thoughts with real life stressors, and that's just one of many examples, but when you have those sort of thoughts with real life stressors, you're not allowed to follow them. You're not allowed to get involved with them and engage with them and go down that rabbit hole and start running your mental mouth, right? The negative thinking. So a real life stressor is really no different. You would treat it really no different than you would an anxiety symptom or an intrusive thought about the future, the past, or whatever. It's all the same. You want to avoid second fear thinking, no matter if we're talking about anxiety. My dog is knocking stuff over in the background. Whether we're talking about anxiety or a real life stressor, you do not want to go down the negative second fear rabbit holes, period, right? Again, the only difference might be that with a real life stressor, maybe there's some real action you can take. That's up to you to figure out. But as far as the second fear negative thinking, that must come to an end, whether we're talking about a real life stressor or anxiety. It doesn't matter. So a lot of people blaming real life stressors for not being able to heal. And what I say is, take a look around. There is millions of people who live stressful, very stressful lives. And they're not talking about anxiety. They're not talking about sensitization. They're not talking about why, because they're not doing all this. They don't have that worry habit to the degree that you have it. You've got it to the extreme, and that's why your nerves can't handle it. So understand that if you are pointing the finger at a real life stressor for why you can't heal, and like I said, there may be exceptions. If you're in a truly abusive situation where your life really is in danger, whatever. But if you're pointing the finger at real life stressors as to why you can't heal, you might be missing the mark, right? Because you're supposed to be handling those real life stressors the same way you handle anxiety. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to pull one out of thin air here. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, comment down below and let me know, I'm really running out of ideas, what your favorite car is. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Like the video. Check me out on all my social media, Vacate Fear. If you're interested in coaching with me, get up with me. I'll get you on the phone. We'll see what we can do. Till next time, as always, stay awesome.